I have been crocheting for years now, and like most crochet artists, every time I think of a new design, I have to go to the store and get the brand new yarn for that design. And I've also been gifted a lot of yarn and I thrift a lot of yarn. So lately my yarn collection has multiplied beyond control. So I am not buying any more yarn until I use what I already have. I have much more yarn than what's on this shelf, but it was slowly taking over my bedroom to the point where half of my room was just yarn. So I spent the last month or two organizing all the yarn into cakes. I have them all in boxes now. I'm keeping them in a completely different room of the house, and I'm simply restocking this shelf as I need to. So this is my first set of yarn that I'm going to work through, and once I'm done with this yarn, I can restock it with more of my yarn. That way I can actually work through my yarn in more manageable amounts. If you're trying to work through your yarn too, which I encourage you to do so, this video is going to be a breakdown of all the different types of yarn you might find in your yarn stash and what to make with them. That way you can pick the yarn out first and then pick what you're going to crochet based off of the type of yarn and what it would make best. I'm going to start with the two most common types of yarn that you would find in your yarn stash. The first one being cotton yarn. Cotton is a breathable but sturdy yarn that is lightweight and holds moisture very well, so it's good for things like kitchenware as well as summer apparel. If you're sweating in your clothes a lot, you want to use cotton yarn. So I have a list here of some different things you can crochet with cotton yarn. I have some ideas for bigger projects as well as smaller projects, depending on how much of that yarn you actually have in your stash. So for big projects, you can make really fun summer tops. You can make simple tank tops and t-shirts, or there are some really fun, unique, different designs you can make for summer tops. You can make different mesh tops or ruffly, frilly, fun summer designs. You can also play around with making dresses. Cotton is a really good yarn for making dresses. It's not too heavy, but it's still going to be durable, and again, it's going to handle sweat and moisture well. You can make a lot of bags. Because cotton is so sturdy, it is one of the best yarns to make bags. I still recommend sewing in a liner if you want a bag that's not going to stretch and it's going to last. And then for smaller projects, which I guess you could say bags are small, it's kind of on that in between, you can make a lot of things that are really going to handle well with water, because as I said, cotton's going to work best for different kitchen and bathroom items such as dishcloths, coasters, reusable makeup rounds, lace mats. Our next most common yarn, and you could argue the most common overall, is going to be acrylic yarn. This is typically the cheapest yarn and the easiest to get your hands onto. There are so many different types of acrylic yarn, so I have a hard time specifying exactly what you can do with it, because you can find very rough and coarse acrylic yarn, you can find very fine and soft acrylic yarn. You really just have to use your own judgment on whether or not the type of acrylic yarn you're holding is going to be good for the project. Do keep in mind how scratchy acrylic yarn is, because some acrylic yarn is so scratchy you don't want that on your skin. My favorite things about acrylic yarn is how versatile it is. Like I said, there's so many different types. It is easy to get your hands on, it's quite affordable. It's also easy to machine wash. If you're crocheting clothing, you don't have to overthink the sizing as much, because you can just throw it in the washing machine and it's going to be just fine. It also steams and blocks very well, and it has a nice stretchy texture to it. The only thing with acrylic yarn is it definitely is not great with moisture or sweat. So if you're crocheting clothing, do keep that in mind. If you live in a hot climate, you can have that moisture or sweat really build up and become uncomfortable. And if you're crocheting sweaters in a very cold climate, that might be comfortable. But I have found for myself, the crochet sweaters I've made out of acrylic, although comfortable, do start to get that kind of like sweaty, overheated feeling, even though it keeps me warm, because all of the body sweat or moisture just stays trapped between me and the sweater. So it keeps me warm in almost a humid way. But I also have found the sweaters I've worn that are acrylic aren't that uncomfortable. So if that's all you can get your hands on and you really want to make a sweater, make a sweater. It's not going to be the end of the world. But if you have the choices, I would use like mohair wool or cotton yarn instead. So for big projects for acrylic, again, you can make like anything out of acrylic yarn, but some of the best options are going to be sweaters, shawls. You can make some really nice blankets. You can make wall hangings, which are like tapestries. If you look up tapestry crochet, you can turn any pixel design into a picture and tapestry crochet that picture, and you can hang it on your wall as decoration, or you can make some other form of wall decoration. There's so many different ideas online. You can also make some really nice vests. That's kind of a good in-between option for clothing, because it won't be directly on your skin, so it won't be affecting the sort of moisture buildup, but you will still be able to make clothing out of the acrylic yarn. Good small projects are you can make some really nice winter hats or scarves. I personally don't do this, but if you want to make amigurumi, a lot of people just use acrylic yarn for that. You can make some baskets, pillows, and keychains or different car hanging decor. Mohair is kind of like your step up, so this is going to be a very, very light and fluffy yarn. It adds a lot of warmth to your clothing, but it still is going to have that light, fluffy, airy feel. So it's really good for making projects that you want to have an elevated look. It makes your pieces look so much more professional. The only thing with mohair is you need to be careful and be very confident with what you're going to make, because once you start making it, you do not want to frog that. It's either completely impossible to frog or very difficult to frog. So make sure whatever you're making you already know how to make, and that you're not going to make a lot of mistakes in it, because you really can't afford to do that. Mohair is not at all forgiving when it comes to frogging your projects. I also recommend doubling up the mohair with another soft yarn, like a cotton, maybe an acrylic or a silk yarn, just because that mohair is so thin. If you double it up with another yarn, you're going to actually be able to work with it to make a full sweater or just a beautiful piece. And you want to use a larger hook and do very light, airy stitches. So the best big projects to make out of mohair yarn is hands down going to be things like sweaters, cardigans, and shawls. Very light, fluffy, flowy pieces that can be a really fun accent piece in a winter or kind of early spring wardrobe. For good small projects, you're going to want to make something like scarves, beanies, or maybe a fun, fluffy scrunchie. Just remember that once you are committed to mohair, you are committed to mohair. There's no going back. I don't use wool very often. I think it's more of like a knitter's yarn, but what I do know from wool is a lot of people find it to be their favorite material to make sweaters or other winter clothing. It can be really warm and comfortable, although some people can find it itchy, so just make sure you know for yourself whether or not you like that wool yarn on your skin. But it's a really good natural fiber, so it's going to make high quality clothing, and a lot of people tend to use wool when they're trying to make a more sustainable wardrobe, because it is said to be a lot healthier to be on your skin than plastic-based yarns. So good big projects with wool is really anything you want to stay warm with, so that's going to be things like sweaters, vests, or really any winter layering pieces. For small projects, it's going to kind of go the same way. You're going to want to make mittens, hats, and scarves. Now you might come across in your stash an untreated or 100% wool. This means that the wool is prone to shrinking, so if you were to wash it in warm water, it would shrink down and do what is called felting, where it takes whatever you crocheted and it's going to shrink down into a matted material. So this is actually used to your advantage, but you just want to make sure you know whether or not you're using felting yarn or not felting yarn, because if it is felting yarn and you make a sweater and wash it, it's going to shrink down and you're not going to be able to wear it. But if you are able to tell if your yarn is felting yarn or 100% wool, you can make some really cool things like a felted bag or felted slippers. I know these slippers are pretty popular right now. Those could be really fun to make, but essentially all you do is crochet whatever you want to make much, much bigger than the size you want it to end up being, and you can find size guides online to help you figure out how much your project is going to felt, and then you wash it in warm water and let it felt down into what is the size you would like it to be. This yarn has definitely caused me the most turmoil. I've spent a long time brainstorming what I'm going to do with this yarn, because I recently have come into possession of a lot, and I mean a lot, of fluffy yarn. So for fluffy and eyelash yarn, this is going to be best, I think, if you use it in small amounts on other projects instead of making an entire fluffy project. And I do highly recommend when you work with this yarn that you pair it up with another yarn. You're not really going to see that other yarn because the fluffs are going to take over, but that other yarn is going to be there so you can actually see your stitches when you're crocheting. Otherwise, you will be crocheting blindly. So I highly, highly recommend that you use 2 strands of yarn at once. That way you can use the solid strand as a guide to actually find your stitches when you're crocheting. The only big projects I was able to come up with this yarn is you can make either a fuzzy blanket or like a dog or cat bed, or if you really want like a fun piece in your wardrobe, you could try making a fluffy coat or robe. That might be fun. I just thought of that on the spot actually. But when it comes to smaller projects, you want to make things like slippers, or again, if you're into amigurumi, these can make really nice cozy things like bunnies or other fluffy amigurumi projects. But my biggest recommendation for fluffy yarn is to use it as trim. So if you were to crochet a sweater or a top, you can add a fluffy trim around the sleeves or the bottom of the sweater. You can also use it to add trim to purses or bags, and just use it to decorate your already existing crochet projects, basically just using it to add a little fringe. When I say sparkly yarn, there are so many different types. The main category here is yarn that sparkles. But if we break it down to its 3 main components, you're going to first have plain yarn with just sparkles embedded in it. This is a comfortable yarn. yarn. You can use it like regular, just make whatever you want with it. Then you're going to have a very thin metallic yarn that might have sequins added, or it's just thin and sparkly. This yarn I recommend pairing with another yarn. And then you're going to find these really dense, sparkly, almost scratchy yarn. This I recommend not using for clothing and instead using it for other household items or decorations. My biggest recommendation for sparkly yarn is to make things that are more mesh and decorative. So that's going to be things like beach cover-ups, mesh tops and shawls, which are great for summer and the beach, or something like party tops, although I don't condone the amount of skin that most party top designs showcase. So I guess more like a decorative top. You know what I mean. Just something that's fun and sparkly that you would want to wear at night or going to like a little celebration. Fun small projects are going to be things like scrunchies, hair ribbons, or different hair accessories and clips. You can also make some clutches, like a clutch purse that's sparkly, or use it as an accent on a purse. And if the yarn you're using is too scratchy for your body, then you can make things like Christmas ornaments or scrubbies. If they're scratchy enough, you can make a scrubby to help clean dishes or whatever you need to scrub. Chunky yarn is going to build up very fast, but you're going to need a lot of it for bigger projects. You're going to find either very soft and squishy chunky yarn or a thicker cord-like chunky yarn. And then you can decide for yourself based off those two textures what these projects sort of apply to. Obviously, if it's a soft project, you want soft yarn. If it's a tougher project, you want to find that tougher chunky yarn. So good big projects are going to be like blankets, rugs, and perhaps a chunky sweater. Small projects are going to be hats, scarves, baskets, slippers, and if you want to make a really nice squishy amigurumi plushie, this would be a good time to do that as well. Now this is a weird category, but I have to include it because I know all of us have that yarn that we just don't really know what it is or what to do with it. So I call this novelty or hand spun or weird yarn. This is going to be that yarn like ribbon yarn, anything that's just very textured and almost looks like handmade yarn that you're not quite sure what to do with. So this one is really going to depend on the kind of yarn you have, and I do highly encourage you to use your own creativity here because I don't know what yarn you're looking at right now, and all of the hand spun novelty yarn is so different. But this kind of yarn is really good for making different accent pieces or adding little accents to the clothing or piece you're making. You can mix it in with plain yarn to kind of help tone down the craziness and instead use it, as I said, like an artistic accent. So some good big projects would be you can make a statement top or make a sweater and kind of integrate it in with a different type of yarn. You can make a really pretty rug, or honestly just make an art piece. Make some form of decoration or art. You can use it in tapestries, just something that's gonna be really pretty and unique to look at within your house. Good small projects are going to be things like bags, scarves, baskets, and again, little bits of room decor. Really, I just want to encourage you to experiment here with this yarn and play around with different ideas of what to do with this unique yarn. I think it would look really pretty in things like bags and different accent pieces, but you know your yarn best and you know your art style best. So just have fun with it and don't be afraid to experiment. The last yarn that everyone's going to have at some point in their life is scrap yarn. And this lately has been my favorite yarn. So let me give you some ideas on what to do with it. Although I could make an entire video on different things to make out of scrap yarn, I'm just going to give you the basics. So there's two different things you can do with scrap yarn. The first is you can take your scraps and attach them all together to make one full skein of yarn that you can then crochet with as normal and have a very colorful piece, which you can pair with a more plain yarn like a white or brown if you want to help neutralize it. I recently posted a full tutorial on how to turn your yarn scraps into a full skein of yarn, so I will link that video down below if that's what you wanted to do. Or the other option, depending on how big the yarn scraps are, is you can just take these scraps of yarn and use them to make smaller projects. So for the big projects, which would be assuming that you did make a full skein of yarn, you can make things like patchwork sweaters, t-shirts, bags, laptop sleeves, or blankets. You're just going to be making a really pretty, colorful, just pop of color. And for smaller projects, which would be using just the individual scraps, you can make things like flowers, keychains, gloves, headbands, hair accessories, or amigurumi clothing or accessories for the amigurumi that you have made. Really just have fun here and use all of the colors to your advantage. Don't throw away or waste any of those scraps. As I said, I am trying to use my own yarn first, and I hope this encourages you to do the same because I know that we all have plenty of yarn in our possession already. And I also think that you will find using the limitations combinations of your crochet stash will actually bring about more creativity than if you were to go buy new yarn for new projects. So if any of these ideas inspired you, or if you have any idea of what you're going to make next out of your yarn stash, then put that in the comments down below. And if you enjoy crochet tutorials or crochet advice videos like this one, then be sure to subscribe and like this video. I really appreciate your support with doing that, and I will see you again soon with another crochet related video. I hope you have a blessed couple of days until then, and I really hope that this video inspired you, and I hope that inspired me, because I need to get a rein on all of this yarn. Alright, I'll see you guys again soon. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.